Welcome back for another exciting video. Today we are working on a Baja 150 quad. I picked this beauty up for $75 from a subscriber, a new subscriber. So anyway, we'll take a look at it. I lost some footage. I did an intro to this already, and it was mildew color. It was really rough, but it's still rough. But it has a nice red color now. If you look real close, it's kind of got like a texture to the plastic. I guess it's been out that long. There is some massive rust going on. So I'm going to call this more of a restoration. I noticed in the back, if we look at that, there's a big hole right there in the frame. Excuse my finger, I got a little cut there. But yeah, the tires look good. That one right there is not holding air, but the rest of them are holding air. So nothing little green slime won't fix. And it's got a GY6 150 engine in it. And I think that we will get that running. So I'm not going to call this a will it run video because GY6s are kind of my specialty. I'll get it running. I believe in that. Unless there's something like catastrophic inside the engine, we're going to get it running. But it looks like we got new brakes. So looking at the positive, the rear brake caliper looks new. The handlebars are new. Arlo's checking out the neighbor. Yeah, so let's get to work. All right, now that I have it up on my little lift, I would like to get the body off. I want to pull the motor. Maybe we'll do a compression check before I pull the motor. As long as it's got oil on it, we can just do a compression check to see what we're working with, see if we're going to need to rebuild the engine. But yeah, I want to get all the plastics off. I want to see how bad this frame is. I want to kind of flip it upside down and just get the tires and all off and the motor out and just see what this frame is looking like and see if we can restore it. I mean, I can weld. I could put some patches in. So, yeah, there's one light here. I doubt that light works. And I'm an LED guy anyway, so we would definitely upgrade that. So, yeah, let's dig in. So we got a couple things going on right here. We got the body taken off. And I look at the air filter, and that is a box of nuts. That's not what you want to see. So apparently there's been, rodents in there, which is not surprising. Then I wanted to check the oil to make sure we had enough, and we have too much. If you see, it's like pouring out of it. I was able to free turn it by hand, get a full revolution out of it, and it, spun nice and free. What I'm concerned about is with it being full like that, did somebody overfill it? Or is there going to be water in there? So I'm going to drain the oil and find out. It's going to need an oil change anyway. I did try the starter to see if it would even turn over. You see, as I got jumper cables on it, and it will not turn over. So I'm hoping it's just a starter. It most likely is because the motor does turn over freely. So I think the best thing to do right now is to pull the motor and maybe put a different starter in and then do a compression check. But it didn't look like the air filter was even connected all the way. I could be wrong, maybe from taking it home. But this part in here, I don't know if you can see that. It's not really, the hose is not really on the box right. So I don't think the odds are real good of this not needing a rebuild. But the magic number we're looking for is 150 PSI. If I get up to 150 or more, then chances are won't need a rebuild unless it smokes. But if it's below 150, then we'll absolutely do a rebuild. Oh yeah. So I had to take the clutch cover off to make the motor as small as possible so I can wiggle it out. And let's look what we found in there. Oh yeah, that's somebody's home for sure. Ah, man. But, it's not it's not a lost cause. We just need to clean it out, but it's going to take a lot more work than I was initially anticipating. But, yeah. So each step along the way, I just, if something's notable, I'm just going to stop and record a little bit so you all can see what I'm going through. The anguish, but it's going to be worth it because this quad in the end, it's 150 is powerful enough where an adult can ride it around, and trust me, I'm gonna rip this thing. I can't wait. Okay, don't adjust your screen. This quad frame is up here upside down. So I can get a better look at it, and so I can work on it, I guess from the bottom up. So these pieces right here was for your footwell, and they were completely rotted out. That was one of two areas that actually had rot through. So I'm going to just cut it off right here, both sides, and make my own wheel wells. Kind of foot peg and wheel well on one. I got a little plan for that. The only other place I saw the rot through was right here. And the plan is, I'm still working on this metal to kind of fashion in here to go over here, and I'll weld it. After I fill this in with weld, I guess I was going to go this way with it. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna work on it to make it fit in there real nice and strong. It'll be stronger than it was when it came out of the factory. I can guarantee you that. Anyway, that's the plan so far with this. Okay, got her pretty well stripped down. Got a lot of rust ground off of it. Take a look at that, where the hole was right there. I got that patch welded in there. Look at it from this side. My welds aren't that spectacular, but they're strong. Okay. So I had a motor all the way taken down because I had all kinds of acorns and seeds and rat poop that was all inside of the plastics. This thing is just absolutely crusty, but no surprise. I bought it knowing that this was a possibility, and it certainly is. So let's do a compression test. I got the compression tester hooked up to it. I got the jumper cables hooked up to it. Let's just give her a couple rounds. There's no carburetor on it, so it's like running it wide open. Got a little bit of oil in there. All right, now let's see what we got. And we got, it is a little less than 50. I don't know. Do we rebuild it or not? I usually lean towards, for a $30 rebuild, go ahead and rebuild it. But with the tariffs and all and the prices going up, let me think about it. But we're right on the verge of needing a rebuild. So this is what we try to duplicate or far improve upon, and I think we did. Look at that. So I guess I'm gonna kind of stand like this a little bit. I made my own floorboards here, okay? This tube was the only thing there. I welded in this. Of course, for extra strength, I got 2 bars to go all the way across, welded in the center and welded to the ends. I kind of boxed this out here, and I also gusseted it on each side, there and there. So I believe I probably over-engineered this to make it safe. But this is basically what we were trying to duplicate, which look how small that is. That doesn't fit a size 13 shoes, which I wear. This would. Obviously, this is more of a young person's quad. I don't believe it's an adult quad, but it could be. I'm going to rip it. I'm just gathering up parts and all. So to do this actually cost me about $100 in just materials, not including the welding wire and all that, and of course electricity, time. But I believe you had to do the job well. I didn't think it'd be this big of a deal, and that's usually the case. But here we go. I don't think I'm going to be making much of a profit on this job, but at this point, I just want it done well, and I want to be proud of my work. So don't look too close at my welds. I did the best I could. I'm using a flex core or a flux core welder, so I don't have the gases and all that, but it won't make as pretty welds, but it sure does make strong welds. So and honestly, you're not going to see this side anyway. And I'm going to flip the quad over, and I'm going to weld the other side. I've only got one side welded. But anyway, I just want to show you what I've been up to so far. Did I mention I'm proud of my floorboards? I do like how they came out. Welds aren't half bad for the Harbor Freight welder I'm using, but I think they're pretty symmetrical. And You know, once it's all painted, I think it's gonna look really nice. But I like the gusseting on it. It's gonna be super strong. And so in case some big guy wants to go jumping with it, I'm really hoping they don't, but if they do, that part's not gonna fail. So anyway, I wanted to just show that real quick before we go to paint. Oh yeah. You know how the old saying goes? If you squint, it's mint. So if you're looking at this beautifully painted quad frame of the Chinese variety and you don't think it's mint, then you didn't squint. Yeah, look at them floorboards. Did I mention I like them floorboards? So anyway, yeah, so we painted it first from the bottom, flipped it over, came to the top, painted it on the top. Yeah, it should look pretty good. So now that we have a decent chassis to put a motor in, or engine in, we're gonna go rebuild that engine and put it in there. Okay, so we're gonna attempt to do the engine rebuild on camera. This takes 4 8mm screws to hold on the head. Okay, I already took off 2 before, so I'm going to have 2 to do now. Now we have, for the head studs, we have 12mm nuts. 4 of them to take off. Take off that. Now it's okay to use power tools to take apart an engine, to put it back together. These take 11 or 12 foot-pounds to put back on, so I would use a torque wrench on that. So we'll take the valve guides off here, give it a little wiggle. So there's also 4 washers. Now, a smooth side up on the washers, okay? So you can kind of feel them, and the smooth side goes up. So I'm going to put them down in here so it's nice and neat, okay? We'll pull this out, put on a nice clean paper towel, right? Have everything ready to go. Now for this right here, what we want to have, we're going to take the cam out, okay? Well, actually first, why don't we take off the tensioner, the chain tensioner, okay? 2 8mm right here, okay? Take that off. That's about the same size of what holds on the valve cover, all right? Light hammer action here. Just pops it right off there, okay? Put that to the side. Now the chain is nice and loose. We're going to take the cam out, but we don't want to lose the cam chain, the timing chain. So we're going to put a zip tie in that. We're going to hold it there. Okay, so no matter what, that's not going to fold. That's not going to go in there because it's got the zip tie on it. Okay, put the cam to the side. Look at the lubes. They don't look too worn out. Okay, put that to the side. All right, now we're going to take the head off. So, okay. Also, we got 2 more 8mm. They're very long bolts here. We're going to take them out. Because I'm on camera, I'm kind of forgetting some things. I usually can do this job in my sleep because I've done so many of them. Put a little bit, start coming out. There it is. All right. So you have. I'm not going to have the right name for it. These little kind of spacers or dowels. I guess dowels are the right name. You got 4 all together in this motor, okay? And they go caddy corner, okay, for the head, and then you're going to have 2 more underneath where the cylinder is, okay? So, the thing we always hope for, we'll take the head off, the head gasket off. That's metal. That never is a problem. That always comes right off. I'm sorry, 6 dowels altogether. My bad. So, but now we're going to see if this cylinder will come off nice and easy. I can feel it's really not. So we're going to give it a little huggy-duggy for that. A little big screwdriver. Give it a little. We're going to not use this. We use this part anyway, so it's coming. It's coming. So, but the base gasket under here, that's what we really hope does not get ripped and does not. We're not going to reuse it, but it's a pain in the butt to get off. Oh my goodness, it is. It is. Okay, here it comes. We're getting the cylinder to come on out. All right. Yeah, so we decided to do this rebuild because what a pain in the butt this would be if it was in the quad. It's just easier to take it out now. So it's easier to get these dowels out probably beforehand. I don't know what I'm doing, but no, they don't want to come in. So okay. Okay, this is a chain guide that comes out. All right, that's quite holding it in there. Okay. Looking at this, I don't know how much you can see of that. It doesn't look too, there's a line like right here. I don't know if you can kind of feel it. So this thing, oh yeah, this got some nuggets in it. You can feel it. It's yeah, it's the right thing to rebuild this for sure. We're gonna reuse these dowels. I gotta find a way to get them out of there. Not a big deal. And we're gonna put this at top dead center of the piston. See better. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna pause right there. Oh, but it did look like. Looks like the gasket stayed with the head. I don't see much of it in there, maybe a little bit. But yeah, this gasket, this surface has to be totally clean, absolutely clean. And there can't be any of the gasket left over. So we gotta take a razor blade and scrape. There's a little bit of that on there. We're gonna have to scrape that off. So we put a little paper towel in there so when we do scrape it, none of the gasket pieces goes in the oil. You know those pliers to pull out the G clips. They're kind of shaped like a G. One out there, and all you really need to do is take out one. Then you can push the connecting rod through, and out comes the piston. And you can see it looks like the bottom rings look really worn down. So that's probably, this thing would have probably smoked pretty good. In fact, none of the rings are really protruding at all. So that's, I don't know if they're stuck, dude, or don't seem to be stuck. This one, oh my goodness, there's like nothing left of it. Wow. That's so thin. Yeah, so, yeah, this really did need a rebuild. And the reason why, the rings are worn out. Might have run low on oil, or who knows. Okay, so the gasket material is, for the base gasket, is pretty much, well, other than this one piece here, has pretty much been taken off of here the best I know how. All right. I was going to rebuild the head. Yeah, look at that. Look at the rust in there. That is not good. And look at the exhaust. Yeah, could that be cleaned up? Yeah, could I use it? But I said to myself, hey, self, why don't I use this one over here? So I had this one sitting in my shed, extra parts. I do performance upgrades on some of my stuff, and I have stuff sitting in there. So what I did is I cleaned and then lapped the valves on this. I put in new valve guide seals. To see how to do that, well, I'd have to make another video because that took a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna put that in and make it go a little better. Okay, now for the fun stuff part. We're gonna be putting in the piston. First we use some of this assembly lube. We're definitely going to be using a generous amount. Already used quite a bit of it. If you run out of assembly lube, I'll tell you what I do. I'm not saying you should do this. I use a heavy gear oil. It kind of feels about the same. And all it's going to do is lubricate it when you're putting your stuff together when it first runs. And it's going to burn out. So somebody online is going to probably say it's the wrong thing to do. Use gear lube. Okay, well, that's what I'm using. Gear lube. For now. Right. Put that in. Now I have the G clips on one side already. No point in having to put a second one in. Okay, we're going to put in the other G clip here. And hopefully it won't fight me too bad. Oh, went right in. Nice. Okay. So now the head. I've already pre-lubed the head. I have two dowels, one here and one here. Okay. So we're gonna put this in. This is always a lot of fun. You want to take your time with this. So, oh, by the way, for intake, you have it marked on this. We're using the Glixal. Let me get ahead of myself here. We're using the Glixal 150cc rebuild kit. I've used that quite a few times. I've had success with it, so that's how I feel about it. My stuff always runs when I'm done, so I have no doubt that this will run as well. Okay, so now it's really extra fun. Of course, we have this in top dead center position with the flywheel. I'm going to try, if you have an extra person, that's always great. I don't. So you're going to try to push down on the rings as this is going in, and you do one ring at a time. Okay, that became into a little too much of a wrestling match to do the whole thing. So we have the new head gasket here, but first we're going to put in our two more dowels, and our two more dowels go in diagonal. So one down low here. It'll only fit one way. So if you put it in wrong, they don't fit in, don't force it. You got it in the wrong hole. So you got two per layer, okay? And then we're going to put in our head gasket, okay? It can only go in one way because it's not symmetrical. Okay. Before I put in a head gasket, see, I think because I'm on camera, I'm a little nervous about doing this. The chain guide goes in right in like that. Okay, with a nice little spot. Now we put in a head gasket, right? Of course, I put it right on top of the old head gasket, but they're not confused. I would know. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I put in the head. Of course, we know the intake goes up top, so lovely, like this. Right. Now we need to put the cam on. So when we put the cam on, we want to have, this should be level with the head when you're looking at it. So in here, it should be absolutely level with that head, and you want the bigger hole to be on top, okay? So I'm going to put this in here like this. I'm going to take my best guess at it. And when I put the chain on, of course we do this before we put the tensioner on. And it's not going to be exact because the tensioner is going to take out, obviously some of the tension because it's its job. Go off by a country mile. All right. That is as straight as your brother right now. All right. Okay. So we're going to put on the valve guide. All right, so EX, I just have to put it on wrong. EX goes on the bottom because that's exhaust. That's the best way I remember it. Oh, and we didn't put our dowels in yet. Somebody on there was saying, hey, you didn't put in your dowel yet. Okay, so dowel goes in here for sure. And I believe this is also diagonal, so another one goes in here. Yep, it fits. If it fits, it ships, okay? And here we go. Put in this here, and it fits in. Now remember, smooth side up, so you can kind of feel it. It kind of catches on your finger a little bit. That's the part that goes down. All right. You put these on. Now remember, 11 to 12 torque pounds on the head bolts. And we got my torque wrench. Okay, So what I did also is I adjusted the valves off camera. This is 9mm lock nut right here, and I used one of these little mini vice grips to hold on to the valve guide, and I adjusted it that way just by turning it and just getting it where 4/1000 just fits in there just barely. You know, it's just a little tough in there. That's about where you want it. I do 4/1000 for intake and exhaust. That's what works for me. Never seem to have a problem, no tapping. It always seems to run optimal. Next, I'm going to be getting into the CVT. Now, in my last video, the carbide auction video, I did the CVT kind of in depth. I'm not going to do that every time I do a CVT because I'll be doing it on every video. If you just look at the state of it and look at the crustiness in it, yeah, this is probably going to get all new variator. We'll see what kind of condition the clutch is in. Probably new clutch springs, or we'll stretch the clutch springs to make it a little bit tighter to my liking. But that's what we're going to do on this. We don't have to do quite as light on the variator weights because it is a quad. It's not a big buggy, and not as strong a spring on the clutch springs. But I'm going to do that off camera, and we'll get to our next step. Okay, so I hate to cut it here, but the video is getting kind of long. I did the best I could with the engine building. I know that the camera angle is terrible. Bear in mind, I do each one of these videos with my cell phone, and I don't have a cameraman. I did the best I could. I know there's things I could do. As I watched the engine building footage, I could have done a little better. But anyway, we're going to pause right here. I got this frame ready to put this motor back in. Folks, it's going to happen. Today, the verse of today is Philippians 1:6. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. I'm asking you guys to trust me that this is part 1. In episode 2, this will be carried out to completion. Hopefully it'll be done very soon, but trust me, I'm going to carry this out to completion. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to help me. I'm going to do it. And in the same way, God says, look, I'm going to do a good work in you that I started, and I'm going to carry it out to completion. If you have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you can trust that he's going to finish the job. No, you're not enough on your own. You do need him, but you do have him, and he's going to carry out the work to completion. You got to have a good, strong relationship with him, and he's going to do it for you. And you got to trust him to do it. Hey, guys, if you like what you see here, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Hopefully we're going to be coming out with part 2 real soon. It's going to be a shorter video. We're going to just put all the parts back together like a puzzle. It's going to run awesome.